things that he can't stand. I don't need a man, no. I don't need a man to be the best that I can. Ooh. I don't need a man, no. I don't need a man to be the best that I can. Da-da-dum, da-da-dum, da-da-da-dum.
These roads intersect, on each one I reflect. These lines write my story. These places change me, each one replacing. Like night into morning, I miss the open air, the going anywhere, riding with you like we used to. Guess I'm better off alone, never know when I'll get home, but I know that home's where the heart is. Guess I'm better off this way, moving to better days, but I know that home's where the heart is. Home's where the heart is. Home's where the heart is. The endless journey, I need not worry. I'll get where I'm going. I made it this far, beyond where you are. And I'll keep on going. I miss the open air, the going anywhere, the endless journey with you. Like we used to. Guess I'm better off alone, never know when I'll get home, but I know that home's where the heart is. Guess I'm better off this way, moving to better days, but I know that home's where the heart is. Home's where the heart is. I won't let you down, 'cause you know me through and through. When you are around, I see the stars come out for you.
If we gon' set this fire,
we're gonna do it right, yeah. We keep it burning higher. We're gonna light this whole place up. And you know, when I'm with you, I am alive, alive. You make me feel you all the night, tonight. Everything I need. I don't wanna go, I don't ever wanna sleep. If we gon' set this fire, we gonna do it right, yeah. We keep it burning higher. We're gonna light this whole place up. And you know, when I'm with you, I am alive, alive. You make me feel you all the night, the night. You pull me in, you make me shine, shine. You make me feel you all the night, the night. The night. I can't help me dreaming now. I hope that I won't wake up. I can't help me dreaming now. I hope that before the sun goes down. I can't help me dreaming now. I hope that I won't wake up. I can't help me dreaming now. I hope that before the sun goes down. When I'm with you, I am alive, alive. You make me feel you all the night, the night. You pull me in, you make me shine, shine. You make me feel you all the night, the night. I can't help me
welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me today. We have got a bunch of fun stuff lined up for today. So first and foremost, I want to say hello to everyone in chat. Thank you so much for waiting. I think I said hi to everybody I could, but in case I missed you, say hi again so I can wave at you. And yes, someone pointed out we have officially met our 100 subscribers. In fact, we're at 101, and that is a huge thank you to Sean at Guy That Sews. He put a shout out on for the channel on his latest video. So if you haven't already, please make sure you go check out his video. Tell him I said thank you. I've already thanked him a couple of times, but a couple more people might be a good idea. If you do exclamation point Sean in chat, you'll get a link to his page, and you can go say hi. I see good morning Tracy, good morning Kim, good morning Marie, Linda, good morning. Thank you again so much for joining me. I am super excited. So last week we were not live, and that was because we were doing a complete reorganize of this room. You might notice there's a little bit more room, and there's this really pretty stackable thing here now that's really exciting. We have so much more floor space in here now to work with. In fact, it took me a little while to kind of get things a little bit back in order because I was used to having that bed there as kind of a shelf or a desk for me. So I had to kind of reorganize a little bit, but we're working through. Now the lighting is a little off, and I'm sorry for that. We're still trying to figure out the lighting here. It looks like, I think the ceiling light is going, honestly. So we're going to replace that ceiling light here in the next couple of weeks. I've got a bunch of really big bright lights on now, so we'll see if they stay on for the whole thing. Who knows? I also have a new mic. It finally came in. I hope you guys can hear me much better than you could before. Hopefully I don't sound like I'm in a tunnel anymore. I did test it out a bunch yesterday, and it seemed like it was working really well. So we're going to hopefully stick with that. I do have my music going in my ear. I know you guys can't hear it anymore. I am sorry about that. Silly YouTube sometimes, but I do have my music going, so that's always my biggest clue as to how the stream is handling. I think we've got all the connection issues worked out, but we'll have to wait and see. So today we're going to be working on our tower bridge. We started this one, 3 weeks ago, I believe. This one's a really, really easy pattern to follow. It's just some half square triangles. You're going to match a light and a dark together. Cut, sew up and down, and then cut it down the middle, and then we're going to make some pretty design for it. So I'm really excited to get working with that. We had 2 pieces left we needed to sew up, and then we were going to go ahead and get those all cut up together and start ironing them out. So I've got these 2 pieces here. I don't do anything off camera with these projects. I wait for you guys so that we can do it all together. So I've got 2 left here. We're going to sew those up, and then we're going to go ahead and put the machine down for a little while, and we're going to do some ironing and some cutting up on our machine as well. So when I flip this over, you might see a little bit of a mess on the floor. Hopefully not, but if you do, please don't judge. It's a little bit of a work in progress. Sorry, just checking chat here. Yes, Sean is very nice. He is so sweet. He has been replying to all of my videos recently, which has just been, I can't even thank him enough. It's been amazing. But yeah, we are officially at 101 subscribers. So as promised, I will have a giveaway, not today on this live stream. I will be posting it later on to the channel. With these subscription giveaways, I like to actually post a separate video for those, so then that way all the subscribers can be joined in, not just those who can make the live streams. So I like to do those in the comments of a separate video instead. So I will be posting another video probably mid this week, showing you guys what that giveaway is going to look like. I've got some pieces here and there that I'm going to be putting together to give that away, so that'll be lots of fun. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm just going to move my phone over here because that's the only way I can see your guys' comments. I'm working on a different setup here, but for now that's what I'm going to have to work with. Alright, so I've got the machine all set up. We're using a gray thread. It's just some gray thread I had in my stash, so we're just going to use that. I've got these 2 pieces here. We're going to do a flip and stitch, or stitch and flip. So basically I'm just lining up I drew a line down the center from corner to corner, and I'm just going to be stitching that up. I don't know if you guys can even see that on the camera or not. Probably not, but that's alright. So let me know, how is your day going here? How has your week been? How has your last 2 weeks been? Because I missed you guys last week. I really did. I would much rather have been spending time with you guys than moving all this furniture around. But that's alright. That's alright. I'd love to hear how your week's going, what projects you're working on. Gosh, there's just so much to catch up on. It is a beautiful day here in northern Illinois. They're saying it's going to be just a tick below 80 degrees today. There's like zero humidity, which is really, really rare for this time of the year for us. I am super excited to try and spend a little bit of time outside tomorrow, listen to me, a little bit of time outside later today after this stream, see what I can muster up, what kind of trouble I can get myself into out there. There we go. I'm just doing a stitch and flip here, so I drew that line down, and then I'm going to sew 1/4 of an inch on either side, and then when we put this back up, we're just going to slice right down that center line. I used a chalk marker. I have a bunch of them here that I use. I like these. They seem to work really well. They wash away. They're a water erasable pen. I just got them on Amazon. It was like a 4-pack for a couple bucks. I like using those. I've tested them out on a bunch of different fabrics. They seem to work really well. Some people prefer friction pens. My daughter uses those with her rocket book. She's tested those out for me. That was really sweet of her. She took a bunch of different colored pieces of fabric and wrote on them and then threw them in the washing machine to tell me which ones would work and which ones didn't. That was a lot of fun. That explains why I'm having some issues here. There we go. Alright. Tracy, I'm so sorry to hear that you're not feeling well. You mentioned something about pain meds. I'm sorry to hear that. I think you had mentioned something about a surgery. I hope that went well. The last time we chatted was a couple weeks ago, so I hope that surgery went well. I'm assuming that's what the pain meds are for. And if you gotta, cut out because of that, I completely understand. I appreciate you staying as long as you can. And you can always catch the live streams afterwards. I do post all my live streams on the channel afterwards, so for those who can't join us, they can still catch up. And I also tried something new today. I don't know if we'll keep it, but you guys can see the chat box right here. You can see the chat box right there, so that's for those people that are watching this after the stream that don't have access to the chat window for whatever reason. I've had some issues with that in the past, so I went ahead and put that box up there. I don't know if I'll keep it or not. If you're watching this after the stream and you have an opinion about whether I should keep that box there or not, please leave a comment down below. Let me know, because I'd like to know. Craft says, love to experiment like that too. Absolutely, absolutely. We just had these 2 little pieces that we didn't get to last time, so I'm just sewing those up real quick. Marie says, I got the top of my quilt of Valor done, just waiting for the batting to arrive so I can get the quilting done. Ooh, Marie, I'd love to see that. I love quilts of Valor. They're so beautiful. I have a family friend whose cousin or aunt, I can't remember, she runs a quilting guild for the Quilts of Valor, and she does an amazing job. Those quilts are just absolutely gorgeous. Tracy says, yes, surgery went well, so I'm recovering now. Thanks for asking. Liking vicariously through my favorite YouTube channel. Oh, living vicariously through my favorite YouTube channels. Oh, you're so sweet, Tracy. Thank you. I'm glad to hear you're doing good, though. I'm really glad to hear that. Really, really glad to hear that. Alright, sorry for all the noise there. Oops. I prefer to do my cutting on this board. Again, don't judge the dirty floor. I prefer to do my cutting up here. Just makes things a little bit easier for me. I got my iron all nice and hot here, so we're going to be ironing these up as we go. I get the stack here going. So these are all the ones that we did last week, and here's the 2 that we have for this week. Let me just grab these here. Yeah, Marie, I'd love to see a picture of that. If you're a member of our Facebook group and could post a picture of that, that would be wonderful. I'd love to see how that's going. You can do !FB for Facebook in chat. It'll give you a link. You can go over there and sign up if you haven't already. I wish YouTube would let us share pictures, because then I'd be able to see them on pictures. But so for right now, we got to use Facebook as our way to share photos of things that we're working on. Oh, Kim, good morning. I think I said good morning to you, but if I didn't, I apologize. She says, Tracy, glad it went well, and prayers for a swift and total recovery. Amen, amen, Kim, amen. Thank you. Tracy says, my kitty's making sure I don't move much. Speaking of kitties, Angel is here somewhere. So, this is still a bedroom. This is still my daughter's bedroom. This is still my sewing space. We have lofted her bed. So we have taken the bunk bed out of my other daughter's room, and we've moved it in here, and we've lofted my daughter's bed. Now, the only problem with that is that it has caused a bit of a conundrum for Angel, who is the black cat that you will see roaming around the room in most of my videos. That is my daughter's cat, and unfortunately, Angel she's not well. She's got some health issues, and she's pretty old. She's 18, going to be 19 here soon, so she's pretty old, so she really can't jump too much anymore. So the lofted bed is proving to be a bit of a challenge for her, but that doesn't mean that she has not figured out that she can just ask us for help to go up there. So now she walks around the house meowing at us until we let her up there. So I think she's up there. I can't actually see because it's so tall, but she might be up there. So if at some point in time you see this black flash come flying across the screen, that is just because she has jumped down, because she can jump down, she just can't jump back up. So, anyway, so that's where she's at. Marie says, I posted on Instagram. I have not started an Instagram account yet, Marie. I need to do that. I need to get on that. Tracy, thank you for putting up that link. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. And you guys know my moderator, Lucas, is got a summer job. So he does swim lessons for little kids on Sunday mornings. So that's why he's not able to join our live streams. But once he goes back to school, he'll be back. So Tracy, I really appreciate you helping out with that. Thank you. All right, so let's get started. I just want to read these instructions one more time, make sure that I'm not missing anything. It's just postcard instructions. They're pretty simple. So this is using Fat 6. Cut them each into two 10-inch squares for a total of 18 by 18. Place the light and a dark square right sides together. Cut diagonally once. These pairs are now ready to sew into blocks. Yeah, that's it. That's super easy. Okay, so we're just going to go ahead and slice these up here, and then we will get them all pressed towards the dark. Let's see. Oh, I forgot my cutter. Excuse me. There it is. I meant to bring that down and I forgot. Oof, it's getting kind of gross. I think I need to clean that out. It's getting kind of gross. So, Marie said she's working on the Quilt of Valor. What else are you guys working on? Let me know. Marie says I think she says I have no Facebook. I can email you a pic if you want and post it. Absolutely, Marie. Absolutely. If you want to email me, that's fine. sewnotanexpert@gmail.com. That's an easy one, right? Yeah, absolutely. Email it to me. I'll post it over there for sure. For sure. And one of these days I'll get my button gear and actually start an Instagram so you guys can share there too. Uh-oh, somebody started a heist. You know what that means. Time to get those, time to get those thimbles together and get that started up. I think I just screwed this one up here, guys. Yeah, I totally screwed this one up, so I'm going to have to make another one. That's all right. I've got extra pieces here. just totally went off when I was slicing it and just completely sliced off. Oh, jeez. Okay, so we'll make a new one of those. That's fine. No big deal. Let's just try not to do that anymore. Anyway, somebody's starting a heist. So as you're watching this, you're earning thimbles, which is basically just a points program. And the heist is a way for you to challenge other watchers of the channel to earn more points or lose more points too. So be careful. Do exclamation point heist, space, and then the amount of thimbles you're willing to risk. And you might win some, you might lose some. So be careful with that. Kim says, I'm working on a purse. Ooh. The pattern is one I've had since 1975. Wow. And have made a few times. First time quilting it though. Ooh, Kim, I would love to see that. That's so cool. One of these days I will get up the nerve to be able to make like a book bag or something. Not a book bag, but like a tote bag. I'd love to try and make one of those someday. Okay, that one was a bit better. We'll get these. Tracy says, "Oh no, Danny, no more whammies." Amen. Amen. Gosh, that was one of my favorite shows when I was a kid. Too funny, too funny. I know exactly what you're talking about. No more whammies. Nope, no more. Thank goodness they leave you with extra pieces, right? So I'll have a couple of extras that I can work with. Alright, let's just keep slicing along here. Gotta just pay a little bit more attention to what I'm doing here. Make sure I don't screw any more of them up. We started with a layer cake, which comes with 40 pieces, and we actually only needed 36. So I have 4 pieces left. So I can make one more of these. Thank goodness. But I don't have many more to make, or many more to work with, so I gotta be careful. So just go slow and take my time. And try not to pay attention to chat while I'm cutting. That seems to be the trouble. So, like I said, it's supposed to be almost 80 degrees today, which is about a normal temperature for out here, but it's usually much more humid up here in northern Illinois. So I'm really excited to be able to spend a little bit of time outside since it's not too super humid out there. My husband and I have a bunch of outdoor projects we're going to be planning here soon, so I don't think any of these outdoor projects are going to interfere with the channel and with our live streams, but there's a possibility. As we get closer to those dates, I will let you guys know if there's any issues, but right now I don't anticipate any. We do have a couple of weekends in August that I'm going to have to skip some live streams because I got to take my kids back to school. They are both college students. They go off to school again in August. Alright, there we go. So we're just slicing these up, and then basically all we do is we iron them to the dark side, and then we rearrange them and sew them back up into rows, and that's it. That is how simple this one is. It is just so simple. Just so simple. So I'm really excited for that. And we picked out some backing fabric. My daughter was in here the other day and we ordered up some backing fabric. It's not the exact same line. This one is City of Ballet by Kanvas Studios. So we did go and we did buy another ballet fabric, but this one's called Pearl Ballet by, well, to be honest, I'm not sure because it just says designed by. So until I open it up, I'm not sure. But I don't think you guys can see this on camera, but it is absolutely so adorable. It's got ballerinas on it. It's got flowers and roses on it. It's got some metallic colors to it, some pinks and greens. It's really pretty. I think it'll go really nice with this. Really, really nice with this. So she picked that out. So that should work really well. That will be the backing. And then I'm just going to use some solid black. I have a printed fabric for a border, and I have a solid black for a border, and then I'll just use a solid black for the binding as well. And I am still working on that yellow brick road quilt that we worked on the last set of live streams. I have all of the pieces. So I had a bunch of solid black fabric cut up into strips already that I was going to use for the binding. Well, I went to go do the binding this weekend and realized that those strips are cut up into 4-inch wide pieces instead of 2.5. So first I have to recut them all. So it's going to take me a little bit longer than I thought. I used 2.5-inch pieces. 2 or 2.5, it just depends on how I'm feeling. Usually the 2.5 ones are nice and easy because they can just come in a jelly roll. So I try to use those as often as I can. Because, you know, I hate cutting, so. So I try and use the 2.5-inch jelly roll pieces when I can. Oh, did the heist already come out? I didn't even see it. Oh, no winners this time. Oh, sorry to hear that. Yes, Marie, there's a 5-minute recovery period. Yep, 5 minutes. Kim says, Tracy, I will post pics on Facebook later. Probably Teresa Louise's page and on Tiffany's, plus this page when I get there. Oh, Kim, no problem. I can't wait to see what that is. I love it when you guys share your pictures with me. I love seeing them. I am part of Teresa Louise's channel as well on Facebook, and I love seeing them there. Every time I see you guys there, I make sure to say hi whenever I can. Her channel is amazing. I'm not really sure. I know there was a bit of, I don't want to say drama because that sounds insensitive, but I know there was some issues with her and her channel and maybe some negative comments or something. I didn't really catch the stream that maybe that happened on. I just kind of caught the comments on Facebook. So whatever it is, it sounds like she was able to overcome that, which is really great to hear. I mean, unfortunately, that is kind of one of the downsides to being on YouTube, is that not only do you bring in the wonderful comments and the amazing community, but every once in a while you also get a bad seed too. So got to take those with a grain of salt. Try not to take them too personally. I'm sure Teresa is doing an amazing job. She's been doing this a lot longer than I have, so I'm sure she has more experience with that. But she seemed like she was doing fine, so that's really great to see. No problem, Marie, no problem. That chat window is itty bitty teeny tiny on a cell phone. I have to agree with you. That's why I've been trying to figure out a way to see the chat a little bit better, because you guys know I do wear glasses. I can't wear glasses when I'm working up close like this. So that's why I use my cell phone for the comments, because the computer is set back further and all the comments are like one big white blur. So I've been using my cell phone for the comments, but I agree with you, Marie, that font is really itty bitty teeny tiny, so I'm trying to come up with another way. I thought about getting one of those Fire tablets from during the Amazon Prime days, but by the time I finally decided to make up my mind, Prime Day was over already, so I'll just keep thinking about it, figure out what I want to do. Marie says, I do 2.5-inch bindings also. Yes, I prefer the 2.5. I don't know why it is, but that extra 1/2 inch just seems to give me a little bit more wiggle room. The 2-inch, I've tried to do 2-inch before because I thought, oh, well, then that way there won't be quite so much of the overlap on the back. But it seems like it's really tight and it's hard for me to maneuver all that. So, oh my goodness, I am just full of threads again. So yeah, that's why I use the 2.5-inch. I use the same, I machine bind mine, I don't hand bind. If you hand sew or hand bind, you are amazing. You have way more talent than I do, because I cannot manage to do that. I am terrible at it. I much prefer to use a sewing machine, and even then, I'm not great at it. I limp along. But you know, practice makes perfect, right? So yeah. A couple of threads here that didn't want to disconnect. Love that word, Kim. We just called it a kerfuffle. Yep, kerfuffle. Yep, kerfuffle works. Uh-oh. I'm not, so my music kicked out, but I think you guys are still with me, right? Let's see. There we go. Okay, just making sure. I have music in my ear, and that's usually my first indication that there's a connection issue. So I always get a little worried, but it sounds like it's back up. Tracy says, I did 2.25-inch bindings and some placemats for Christmas and vowed to never do that again. 2.5 all the way. I'm with you. Now I remember why I didn't make this bag very often. It's fiddly. Kim. Oh, I love your words. They're so cute. I love that. It's fiddly. So cute. So cute. Marie says, I also love striped binding for... You know what, Marie? I've never used striped binding. I use solid colors for the most part on my bindings, although I do have... Of course, I flipped over the screen, so now I can't see where I'm at. You guys know, and it's still back here, but I still have that placemat back here that has some patterned binding pieces that I'm going to be using, but they're not really a pattern. It's more like a... gosh, I'm not even sure. Oh, Angel's knocking at the door, guys. Hang on. I gotta let her in. Come on in, Angel. Hi, good morning. Come on in. Come in. Angel. Come on. She'll get here in her own time. Her own time. Come on. Angel. Come on. I'm gonna shut the door. I can't wait for you all day. I'm shutting the door. Thank you. Finally. So, you say good morning, Angel. There we go. Good morning, Angel. Are you going to need help? What are you going to do? I don't think she knows. We'll give her a minute. Let her figure it out. I'll probably have to get up and walk over there and help her. Okay. Maureen says, I don't mind doing hand sewing, but I'd rather machine bind and get it done. I understand that. I understand that. All right. There we go. Okay. Kim says, with age comes the privilege of taking our time. I love that, Kim. That's great. At what age does that start? I'm just wondering. Asking for a friend? Too funny. Too funny. Good morning, Sandra. Thank you for joining us. We are working on our tower bridge project. We finished up sewing the last two pieces, and now I'm just slicing them all up. Then we're going to start pressing them out. Today is basically going to be slicing and pressing. I'm not sure if we're going to get to any more sewing today. We'll just have to see how it goes. Live stream will run till 12:30. That's our standard time. Good morning, Angel. What would you like? Would you like up? You want uppies? Excuse me a moment while I attend to a cat. Okay, okay. Okay, here, come here. Come here. Let me help you. Here. No, here, let me help. Sorry, give me a moment. There. Okay. Are you better now? Okay. Again, if you see a black flying thing come at me, it's just because she's jumping down. She can't get up, but she can come back down, so. Kim says it starts anytime after 30. Okay, cool. Then I can be a part of that group. I can be a part of that group. All right. A few more to go. Just slicing right along. Tracy says, I'm 43 and no one is allowed to rush me. LOL. Well, see, that's why I don't take commissioned projects. I don't do commissioned projects. Well, I shouldn't say that. I've done one before. But I don't do commissioned projects normally because then that way I don't have a timeline and I can just kind of do things at my own pace and I finish it when I finish it. And that's why I gift all of my projects mostly, because then that way they're not expecting it either. I have the hiccups all of a sudden. And Tracy, I'm 41, so we're close in age. We are close in age. Good morning. If you're just joining us, we're working on our tower bridge project. This is the half square triangles where we took a dark one and a light one and we sandwiched them together, right sides together, and then did a stitch and flip down the center. And now I'm just slicing them all up and then we're going to press them towards the dark. Thank you so much for joining me. If you're watching this after the stream has ended, thank you again for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. If you haven't already, we have officially met our goal of 100 subscribers, so we will be doing a giveaway on the channel, not on this live stream, but on the channel itself, probably in the next few days. Just like I did with our 50 subscriber goal. I'll post a separate video for that, showing you guys what the prize is and giving you instructions on how to win that. Kim says, having RA tends to slow me down a lot, so much so that my youngest granddaughter has said, "Grandma, you're just old and rickety." Oh, that's not very nice, Kim. Oh. But, you know, kids these days, they say the darndest things. I'm telling you. So, and they don't mean to be, you know, insulting sometimes, but they can say the darndest things sometimes. They can say the darndest things. Well, Kim, if it makes you feel any better, even at 41, I feel old and rickety, so don't you worry about it. I can only imagine what I'm going to feel like in my 70s if I'm old and rickety at 41. Alright. This is our last one that we're cutting up, and then I'm going to go ahead and sew that other one together real quick. That one that we messed up. That whammy, as Tracy called it. Love that. Kim says, I turned 65 this year. Congratulations, Kim. That is awesome. I'm sorry, Marie. Congratulations, Marie. That is awesome. 65 is an accomplishment. And that just means you're closer to retirement if you haven't already. So that's even more exciting. That's even something even more exciting to celebrate. Me, I still got probably another 20 years. Let me find my threads here. Just gonna clean up real quick here. There we go. All this cutting has thrown some threads everywhere. Just do a quick little cleanup. You know what? Somebody said it on one of my lives. If you don't have threads all over you, then you're not really quilting. You're not doing it right. You know, that's kind of the way it goes. If you don't have threads everywhere and you don't have pins on the floor, then obviously you're not doing it correctly. Okay, so those are all cut up. Let me grab 2 more of these to sew up together. Let's see. Let's see what we got here. This is interesting. That was awful. Sorry, had to flip that song. Okay, so it looks like the only ones I've got left are like a gray on gray. So we're just gonna have to grab it. There. There we go. Alright. I did not starch up these or iron these up. I probably should, but that's alright. Should be okay. Okay. Sorry, I'm just over here talking to myself. It's fine. And Kim says her granddaughter can try Job's patience. Too funny. Too funny. Little girls can be like that. I know. I had 5 total. 2 of them were mine, and 3 of them were stepdaughters. And yes, there were a couple of them that tried my patience as well. One of mine and one of his. So I feel you. I understand your pain. The good news is that eventually they work itself out, and mine are all now in college. 2 of them will be graduating this year from college. 1 of them will be graduating from high school, and then I will also have 2 sophomores in college as well. So lots of fun stuff going to happen next year. Next year we're going to have a lot of graduation parties that we're going to be hosting, so that'll be fun. I love hosting parties. They're one of my favorite things to do. Marie says, I retired a few years ago, now I get to enjoy whatever I want. Yay. Amen, Marie. Good for you. Good for you. We're just... I made a boo-boo on one of our blocks, so I'm just gonna sew up another one real quick, and then we will get back to pressing all these. So I had to pull the machine out for just a minute. Now, because I am sewing on the diagonal here, I'm trying really, really, really hard not to stretch this fabric as I'm sewing it. I'm just letting the machine feed it in there and just guiding it gently, because it is on the bias since it's corner to corner, so it's gonna stretch. So I'm gonna do everything I can to try not to distort it. Kim says, Danny, I have a very close friend who lives in Granite City. Oh, that's cool. Yes, I am in northern Illinois. I'm actually a southern suburb of Chicago, but it's still considered upper northern, so it's a southwestern suburb of Chicago. Sandra says, me, myself, and I disagree on what we do all the time. I like that, Sandra. That's fun. That's a fun one. I like that. Alright, so now I just need to slice this one up real quick. I think I'm just going to kind of reach over here. It's a little unorthodox, I realize, but we're just going to, rather than put the machine down and put the machine up, put the machine down, I'm just going to slice it up right here. I only need one side, so if I screw this up, I only need half of it, so that's okay. We'll just pick the better of the 2 halves, that's all. I need to invest in some Creative Grids rulers. I hear they are amazing with those little grippy things on them, and I just haven't. And you know what else I did, guys? I sewed it upside down. Yay! So did that too. For gosh sakes, Danny. Alright, so let me pull Jack out. We'll pull this one out. Oh, for gosh sakes. And then we will resew this one up together. Because, you know, I couldn't have caught that before I sliced it. No, I have to catch it afterwards. So, oh well. It is what it is, right? No use crying over spilled milk, as my grandma would say. Come on. Kim, I'm sorry, I don't know who he is. I must have missed a comment there. Who is he? You said he's a quilter too and has some beautiful work going. He doesn't do Facebook or other social media though. I'm not sure who he is. I believe my seam ripper is dulling. I buy cheap seam rippers from Amazon. I buy like a pack of 10 of them or something for real cheap. Because, you know, they dull pretty... for me, they dull pretty quickly. So I have a tendency to go through them. So I just buy the cheap ones. And I think this one here is starting to dull on me. I'm going to need to switch it out, I think. It doesn't want to slice very nicely. There we go. Oh, I'm sorry, Kim. You said he is my friend from Granite City. I'm sorry. I must have missed that. I'm sorry. Yes, I remember you mentioning a friend from Granite City, and I just didn't put the two together, so I apologize for that. But that is really cool that he is a sewer as well. Really cool. Okay, this one's going to be a little tricky because it's on that corner there. We're going to do the best we can here. I should have put my other guided foot on. That would have made things a little bit easier for me. But no. I like to challenge myself and be difficult. All right. Okay, so there's that one. So we've got those all fixed up. So now we're going to press them up towards the dark. Let me turn my iron back on. It was on, but now it's turned off again. We're going to press all of these towards the dark, and then we just start making the rows. Now, even though we have done a reorganization of this room and I've given myself some more floor space, I still don't have a lot of space to lay out this quilt. So I'm basically just going to follow the pattern of the picture, and we're going to do it that way. Since this pattern only makes one size, so I don't need to worry about it giving me the wrong size, so I'm just going to follow that. Marie says Jack had to come out and play. Sorry. Yes, Jack and I have a love-hate relationship. Yes. He loves to talk to me, and I hate to talk to him. So, let me grab my water bottle real quick. So I want to know from you guys, what do you think of the audio? The new microphone, what do you think of that? Is that better than the headset before? I don't feel like I didn't think that I sounded like I was in a tunnel when I was testing it out yesterday, but I don't want to know what you guys think. And I need to come up with better ideas for decorating here for this, so right now I just threw something up there for now. We'll come up with something later on. And we're just gonna iron all these up one at a time. With these corner to corner triangles, I like to do these one at a time. Sometimes I lay pieces out and I iron them up all at once, but these I like to do them one at a time because I don't want them to stretch. So I'm really careful about that. I've got a bunch of dog ears here, so I'm actually going to grab my scissors, cut off all these dog ears as well as I'm going through. Sandra says, yes, the voice volume sounds great. Oh, good. I'm glad. Right. Kim says, audio is great. Oh, good. Good. I'm glad that we were able to fix that. Hopefully this mic lasts us a little while. It wasn't super expensive, so I don't have really high hopes for it. But I wanted to try something to see if I could get it to work. So we'll see. Okay, so I'm going to grab I've got a little plastic cup here that you guys have seen me use. I use this for my miscellaneous threads and my little bitty teeny tiny clippings. So I use that. That way I can just put them in there and then I dump the whole thing in the garbage can when I'm done. So now we're going to press everything towards the dark. Just kind of folding it over lightly. and then hitting it with the iron. I don't use steam in my iron. I'm sure you guys know that. That's just a personal preference. I do have a water bottle here on the floor if I need it, and I also have my best press as well. We did starch up all of these fabrics before we started sewing them, so they should lay nice and flat because we're ironing them up again. But just in case, I've got that all set and ready to go. And since I'm kind of facing this way, I'm going to move this over here so then that way I can face you guys and talk to you guys while I'm thinking. This is Sandra. That's, I never thought of that, but that is an excellent way to think about it. Sandra says, I hate when you marry pieces together and you have to bring out Jack, the divorce lawyer, to separate them. I love different quilters' sayings. That is so much fun. I love that. I'm going to have to try and remember that. That is funny. That is funny. Marie says, I think we all have a love-hate relationship with Jack. Yes, absolutely. Yes. There's a meme that goes around on Facebook and Instagram that says, if you see me with the seam ripper out, now is not the time. Isn't that the truth? yeah, Maria, I have to agree with you. That is a good one, Sandra. The divorce lawyer one. I have that's the one I have not heard. That one's funny. That one's funny. Okay, so basically I'm just pressing these all up towards the dark and trimming off all the dog ears, making my life a little bit easier as we go along here, and then we'll go ahead and get these sewn up today. I have no idea if we're going to get to that today. I have learned to stop trying to figure out what I'm going to get done in a day, because it never seems to work out the way I want it to, so I just don't anymore. So I'm just going to hang out with you guys, chat with you, tell me how your day's going, how your week's gone, last couple of weeks have gone, what projects you're working on. Complain about Jack. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. And I am loving these fabrics. I'm not a huge fan of pastel colors. I think I've mentioned it before. Pastel colors, they're just not my jam. That doesn't mean that I don't think they're beautiful. They absolutely are. They're just not my jam. My jam is more bright, vibrant colors is more my jam. But my daughter, this quilt here is for my other daughter, not the one whose room this is, but my other daughter. And she is into the pale pinks and the grays and the blacks, and she's more into those colors. So this is right up her alley. She was really excited to start seeing that I'm actually working on it. These pieces were, looks like Tracy just started a heist, so make sure you get on that. These pieces were purchased when we were on a family vacation a few years back. We went to Louisville, Kentucky, and we stopped at a really cute little quilt store there. Unfortunately, the quilt store has closed since then, which is really, really sad to hear. But we purchased these. She found the quilt hanging on the wall and said, Mom, I really like that. Can you make that for me? And I said, sure, I can try that. I was really new to the hobby, but I thought, sure, I can try. And then, unfortunately, life got in the way, and I had some mental struggles, if you will, for a little while, so I put quilting away for a couple of years. And then I finally got around to it again and did a couple of projects and learned some more things, improved my skills a little bit, and then decided to start on these again. So the Yellow Brick Road project that we finished before, I'm still working on that one. I have to finish that one up. That one is for the daughter whose room I share. That's hers, and then this one is for my other daughter. Sandra says, I'm working on the Black Eyed Susan block for a live Zoom with friends aired on the YouTube channel. Oh, that sounds like fun. That sounds like a lot of fun. So Becca does a live Zoom on her channel for her members and subscribers. That sounds like it could be something fun. Unfortunately, I don't have a whole lot of time during the week. I work pretty late in the day. By the time I come home and make dinner and everything else, it's pretty late. So I don't really have a whole lot of time during the week to participate in things like that, although I kind of wish I could. I've been throwing around the idea of doing a live stream during the week when we get to the next, because I've got a bunch of full-size projects I want to work on, so I've been thinking about doing that, but I haven't really, it's something I'd have to make the time for, and I just don't know that I have any more time to spare right now, so we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see. Might be something that happens after summer is over, after my kids go back to school, and they're not dependent on me to feed them. Good morning, Shady Susan. I must have missed you pop in there. Good morning. Thank you for joining us. Marie says, I love the pink and gray together. It is a very pretty combination, Marie. I agree with you. It is very pretty. I know my daughter loves it. Absolutely. It's one of her favorites. Like I said, it's just not my cup of tea. I prefer something a little bit brighter. That doesn't mean that I don't think it's pretty. It absolutely is. It just wouldn't be my first choice. The mix and match quilt is more the one that we're working on, that we'll be working on next week. That one is more my jam. Because that one is much brighter colors. It's just much brighter. And it looks like, I'm looking at the screen now, it looks like we have went back to me being orange again. I thought I had fixed that. I guess not. It is what it is. I'm not going to worry about it. I think there's a heist going. Yeah, Marie's started a heist, so if you haven't already, make sure you quick get in on that before they pull the winner. Exclamation point heist, space, and then the amount of thimbles you're willing to risk. Those thimbles can be traded in for prizes. I think right now I only have one prize up there right now. If you do exclamation point prizes in chat, it'll let you know. It's just a random fat quarter for now. I will have more on the channel here soon. With moving all the furniture around, I unfortunately did not get a chance to get to that. Did not get a chance to set up more prizes, but we have met our goal of 100 subscribers, so we will be doing a giveaway, not on this live stream, but on the channel in the next few days. I will post another video for that. I like to do the subscriber giveaways as an actual separate video, so then that way all of the subscribers can join in and be eligible to win instead of just those that are able to make the live streams. We do a lot of giveaways on the live streams, not every live stream, but a lot of them. Usually after we've finished a project, I'll give away all my scraps from that project. Anything that's over an inch, 1 inch by 1 inch, I'll usually give away. See. Congratulations, Tracy, on winning. Good morning, Sylvia. Thank you for joining me, and thank you for the congratulations on the 100 subs. Yes, that is super exciting. I am beyond words grateful for every single one of my subscribers, both new and those who have been with the channel from the start. Thank you so much to each and every one of you, and thank you so much to all of the YouTube content creators who have been promoting my channel for me and helping me to grow it. I am overwhelmed with the support and love in the quilting community on YouTube. It's been amazing, so thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We're working on our Tower Bridge project. It is a half square triangle project basically. So I've taken a bunch of layer cakes and the stitch and flip method down the center, corner to corner, and now we are, and I've went ahead and sliced them all up, and now we're ironing them all to the dark side, and then we'll be sewing them all up together. I'm not sure that we'll get to any sewing today. We'll have to wait and see. What time is it? Oh, we got about an hour. We might get some sewing done. This is going to be a quick and easy project, so the good news is that I have another third project lined up already, so that's good. So we can just keep going. Got a bunch of stuff going on. I'm trying to decide if we should do the mix and match next week or if we should do something a little bit different. I've got a couple of Christmas and winter projects that have come in recently that I've had. One of them is one I'm really excited to try, and I know I've mentioned it a few times, but it's a paper piecing. But it's not your traditional paper piecing. It's the Sewing Emma or Sweet Emma from Fat Quarter Shop. It's their paper piecing paper. It's a Flying Geese project. So I really want to try that. So I might try that next week. We might do that one on the live next week just for fun to see how that goes. Never done it before. I thought it could be fun, something new to learn. You guys can help me learn together. That could be fun. Have any of you guys used that? I think it's called Sewing Emma paper piecing project stuff. The pad of paper, the pad of pieces. Fat Quarter Shop. What do you call them? I have one, and I'm excited to try it. I've been wanting to try it for a while, and there just really hasn't been a good time to do it. It's a Christmas quilt, so you have to, got to be in the right mindset for it. And I thought Christmas in July could be fun. We could do that for a little bit. I'll probably only do one stream of it and then finish the rest of it off camera. But that way you guys can help me figure it out. I might do that. We'll see. We're also working on that a mix and match full-size quilt. That one's a free pattern by Donna Jordan. That one you guys can see. We started that one a couple weeks ago on the channel. So that is another project that we're working on. And then of course we have our cotton cuts projects. Those are really exciting. I just finished recording Clue 6 yesterday. So you guys will see that one up on the channel in another week or two. I've also got another unboxing video that'll be coming out. Stephanie Stitches came out with her spring project box. So cute. That's a full-size project too, so we've got that one to work on. Got lots of stuff. Oh, Marie, thank you for that reminder. Yes, a thumbs up would be great. That does help the algorithm. It does put my channel in front of more people. So if you are so kind, it is free. There is no charge for that. I appreciate that. Thank you. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing. We did reach our subscriber goal for this month of 100 subscribers. In fact, when I looked just before the stream, there was 101. Marie, yes, it's So Emma. Thank you. I knew somebody would know what I was talking about. Thank you. But we did reach our 100 subscribers goals just before the stream. I saw 101, so it might be more than that. I'm not sure. There's supposed to be a little announcement that pops up on the screen when there's a new subscriber, but I can't seem to get that to work correctly. Who knows? But right now I'm just ironing up our half square triangles and clipping all those dog ears off. And then we will figure out how to sew these all up together. I got a little plastic cup here that I'm putting all these in so I can dump them in the can later. Katie, good morning. Thank you so much for joining me. I missed you popping in there. Good morning. I'm glad Streamlabs saw ya. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the channel. Thank you so much. I don't want to be biased, but I do believe my channel is one of the best communities. I don't want to be biased or anything about it. But welcome. We'd love to know what you're working on, so pop into chat, let us know what you're working on. If you're interested in sharing pictures of what you're working on, make sure you do !FB in chat for our Facebook group. You can share pictures of what you're working on there. I do not have an Instagram yet. One day I will get to it. It just seems like the days keep running away from me. One day I will get there, though. Marie says, I have some but haven't tried it yet. I got some for log cabin and pineapple blocks. Yes. Marie, the one we're going to be doing, the one that I was given was, oh, this one is torn up terribly. It's just looking at this chain is just terrible. Flying geese. That's the one we're working on. That's the one I've got is flying geese. So I'm excited to check that out. I must have been having some tension issues with some of these blocks because I can feel the threads are kind of bubbly. So I must have been having some tension issues last time. I don't remember having any, but I might have been. Uh-oh. There we go. There we go. That one flipped over, so I'm just trying to make sure it presses back down the way it's supposed to. There we go. So yeah, those Emma paper piecing, I don't know, I haven't decided if I'm going to do that next week or if I'm going to work on our mix and match. I don't know. I kind of wait till like Tuesday or Wednesday to decide what I'm going to do. I'm definitely going to do a live stream. I just don't necessarily know what I'm going to do on it. I love the fact that we're kind of switching things up every once in a while. We're not doing the same thing every week. You know, we did that with the Yellow Brick Road, which, you know, the Yellow Brick Road was a lot of fun. But I found that I got frustrated with doing the same thing over and over and over again. And you know, you guys know yourself, you know, as quilters, we always have, you know, 100 projects going at one time anyway. So it was normal. You know, it's normal to have more than one. So I kind of like the idea of kind of switching things up every once in a while, doing something a little bit different. Yes, it does take longer to finish a single project that way, but like I said, I think it makes for more interesting content. I think that it keeps my attention levels a little bit better. My ADD is satisfied by doing something a little different each time, which is also why my videos are often kind of flipping around, jumping around of different projects. So then that way I kind of doing different things at the same time. I'm super excited to receive the next project for Cotton Cuts. That one is supposed to be shipping on the 29th, which is super exciting. That'll be coming up here in a couple weeks. We will be doing that on the channel. I just don't know. Part of me would like to do it as a live stream on the channel during the week. Once a month. But I haven't decided yet. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. It'll be a surprise for you guys and for me. So right now we're doing the boring part of a project. We're doing the cutting and the ironing. We've pressed them once, we've pressed them and starched them, then we marked them up, then we did a stitch and flip, corner to corner. Now we've sliced them up, and now we're pressing them all towards the dark fabric and clipping off the dog ears. And then we'll actually get to start putting these pieces together. We're chatting in the live stream chat there. If you want to say hi, make sure you say hello. And I'll say hello back. So last weekend, my husband and I did something we've never done before. We went in on our family. We went 4 of our families came together, and we ordered a quarter of a cow, for meat. Instead of trying to buy it at the grocery store, we actually went to one of the local farms here, and they sell them by the cow, which is really weird. It's something new that we've never done before. It's something odd, but so far we've only had one piece of the meat so far, but I am amazed by the difference in taste and texture between that meat and the stuff you buy at the grocery store. They kept telling me the whole time we were doing this whole thing. They kept saying, "Oh, you're gonna like it a lot. You're gonna like it a lot. Just remember, it's gonna be different." And I'm thinking, different how, But it is amazing the difference there. So, if you have the opportunity, I strongly recommend you try to support your local farmers and purchase direct from them if they have that allowed to you, because it was a lot of fun. Good morning, Kelly. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Good morning. If you do !Kelly in chat, it'll put up a link to her Facebook page, or I'm sorry, to her channel in YouTube. She does some amazing projects, lots of fun over there. Lots of fun. Good morning. Thank you so much. She says you're not super late, Kelly, not at all. No, just having a leisurely breakfast. No worries, not at all. No problem. We go till about 12:30, so we've been on about an hour now. No big deal. So you're about halfway, so you're not late yet. And even if you were, that's okay. You can always catch the stream afterwards. I do post them all to the channel, so you're welcome to watch them afterwards or skip through to the parts you missed. Excuse me. Kelly says we bought half a cow once and a whole lamb. Wow. Yeah, this farmer offers cows and pigs. So my mom and I have already been talking, and we think we're going to try and do them. So we figured out that a quarter of a cow for the 4 families is probably just a little too small of an amount. But, with our 4 families, I mean, my kids are home from school right now, but they're going to be going back to school soon, and then it'll just be my husband and I. So, it was just my husband and I, my stepdad and my mom, or I guess it was only 3 families, and then my aunt. So it was, it's not like we're feeding a whole family, or, whole big families. So, but I think next time we'll probably go with the half a cow instead of the quarter. And we're also looking into doing a pig too, because this farm offers pigs and chickens, which is kind of neat. Excuse me, I'm sorry. So that's kind of neat. We'll see how that works out. But I thought that was kind of cool. So if you have the opportunity and you are able to do something like that, I strongly encourage it. It is, I will be honest, it is a little bit hard to swallow the price, the initial price shocker. Okay, because I mean, I think the half cow was like, I don't remember the exact price, but it was like $500 or $600 for the quarter cow, which is like, whew, that's a lot. However, if you look at the cuts of meat that you're getting, and then you do a price per pound, and you compare it to what you would be paying at a grocery store, it is astronomically less expensive. And the only difference is that you just have to make sure that you have enough freezer space. This particular one pre-packages everything for us, marks it all up, and then flash freezes it. So we basically just bring it home and throw it right into the freezer. It was so much. I was so impressed with the process so far, and so far with the taste of the food too. Katie says, glad you're supporting a local farm. Me too, Katie. Honestly, I didn't even realize it was a thing. I honestly did not even know it was a thing. It turns out my stepdad works with the wife of the farmer. He works with the farmer's wife. And so he is actually the one that found out about it for us, because it's not in our town. It's a couple of towns over. But he's the one that found out about it and said, hey, we should try this. And so we decided, well, it doesn't hurt to try it. So, and so far we're really happy that we did. We're really glad. Like I said, the meat is just incredibly, the texture is different, the flavor is different. I think it's more tender. Sorry, I've something stuck in my throat here. But yeah, I didn't even know that was a thing. So if you don't think it's a thing by you, make sure you do some research online and see if you can find something, because it makes a difference. Not just for you. It does make a difference not just for you, but it makes a difference for the farmer too. Kim says, late hubs and I used to buy from a local farmer. Always got a steer ready to butcher. The taste is so much different and so much better. We also bought hogs from him and they had them processed. Yeah, I mean, we didn't know what to expect. We knew what it was coming. I mean, they kind of explained to us what the process was. We'd started this process in May. Yeah, we started this process in May. And, they said, oh, well, we don't have any cows that are ready just yet. We'll have some in, June. And then it was like mid-June when they said, okay, now we have a cow for you, but you got to let it sit for, it's got to sit for 2 weeks. And then it's going to take another couple of weeks to process. And it was like, okay, that's fine, whatever, So it took a little bit of time to kind of get it all set up and organized. It wasn't like I could just, it's not as convenient as going to the grocery store, for sure. For sure. But I think that, supporting the local farmer and the processing place, because they were two different companies, supporting them and the food, the taste, like you said, the taste, the texture, it's just amazing. So we are hooked. We will be doing it again. And like I said, now we're looking into doing a hog too, so that could be fun. Kelly says, at our family reunion in late August, we'll be eating one of the pigs our nephew raised and then had slaughtered. Oh, wow. Kelly, that is really cool. Part of me is like, aw. But the other part of me is like, that is really cool. I mean, obviously, if the pig was raised specifically to be slaughtered, I mean, obviously, that's the purpose of that pig, so that's really cool. I've been to a couple of pig roasts. They're kind of neat. Very, very neat to do those. Kim says, the last one we did was 1,500-pound black Angus steer, and we had T-bones and ribeyes that literally covered our dinner plates. It was delicious. I could fix one steak and feed 4 people. Absolutely. Yeah, that was one of the things, because, we took this quarter of a cow, and we split it up between 3 families, not 4, 3 families. And, I was worried. I'm like, and as I'm like splitting it up, I'm like, well, this person, we're only getting one, ribeye or one T-bone, and we're trying to split it up as evenly as we can. And each family was really only getting one type of cut of meat. And I'm like, I was worried about it. But then when you open the packages up, you realize that they're like huge pieces. And you're like, okay. I could actually cut this up and feed, my husband and I could have one steak and cut it in half, and that's more than enough for he and I. So that's why it actually worked out really well. But yeah, no, I totally understand what you're saying. Obviously I don't know if it was a steer or not. I didn't ask that many questions. I probably should have, but I didn't. But yeah, we only did a quarter. We didn't do a full, because like I said, this is our first time ever doing it, so we weren't really sure what to expect. And now that we know what to expect, I think the next time we do it, which will be a few months from now for sure, we'll probably go with a half. But we got a ton of ground beef. Oh my goodness, the amount of ground beef we got. And when I was talking to the gentleman there at the processing plant, he said, be careful especially with the ground beef. He said it's different than what you buy in the store. He said what you buy in the store has a lot higher fat content than what you're buying here, and it has a much different texture. He goes, it's going to cook up differently, and it's definitely going to taste differently, so be careful with that. So I haven't tried any of it yet. I don't know what exactly that means, but I'm excited to try. I'll probably do that during the week, and maybe I'll have a report for you next week of how that went. So we're really excited about it. Like I said, we just picked that up last weekend, I think, so we really haven't had a whole lot of time to cook any of it. We only cooked the one roast so far, but Sandra says, I'm raising 2 steers for profit, Angus. Oh, wow, Sandra, that is so cool. I am glad to hear that. But yeah, we're going to look into getting the hog, which is a pig, obviously, and then we're also going to look into getting maybe some chickens from them too. We're going to see what the prices of the chickens are. It's hard to swallow the big price tag all at one time. You know, when you go to the grocery store, you spend, $15, $20 on one package, and you can swing $20 or $25, out of your budget. So to try and swing, $4, $5, $6, $8, $10, $1,200 in one swing is a little hard to manage, especially when you're not used to it. But by the same token, now that I have spent that money, I don't need to spend that money at the grocery store. And when you do the math for the per pound price, it's tens of dollars a pound cheaper. I mean, I don't remember the exact number. I don't remember what we calculated out, but it was at least $10 a pound cheaper, at least. So definitely something for you guys to check out if you can. Marie, I just got your email. Thank you so much for that. I'll go ahead and get that posted up on our Facebook wall. I do not have the opportunity right now to take a look at it on screen. Excuse me, I'm sorry. But I will take a look and I'll post that up on the Facebook wall as long as you're okay with that. Share that with all of our Facebook friends. Kim says most who slaughter cattle are either steers or heifers. Oh, that's new. I guess I didn't know that. Once you turn the ball into a steer, the meat is much more tender and better flavor. Oh, I think she meant bull. Okay. Same with not breeding a heifer. Meat is much better quality. Oh, see, now this is things I didn't know anything about, so I appreciate you sharing that with me. Kelly says one of my son's friends used to sell their chickens. The birds are huge. Yes, chickens are massive. Massive anymore. Just absolutely massive. Callie says, sadly, they moved and don't have chickens anymore. Oh, that is sad. That is sad. I've told my husband, I said, having chickens in our backyard would be kind of neat, because I love eggs. Eggs is a superfood for me. High protein, low fat. Eggs are wonderful. And I'd love to have fresh eggs. I said, but, we have dogs. The dogs don't like the squirrels. I can't imagine they would like chickens in the backyard. And we're in a pretty tight neighborhood. So our house butts right up next to the neighbors. So I think we would be a little bit obnoxious to our neighbors. So I don't think we'll ever get chickens. But I thought it could be cool to have some. Although it does sound like a lot of work too. Kim says we raised bison for a while. Ooh, bison. I've had bison. Bison is good meat. And it's got beef beat with all the pieces. No fat, no cholesterol, twice the protein, twice the iron, and the flavor is amazing when cooked right. Yes, bison does have to be cooked a certain way. I am aware of that. My dad was a big fan of bison meat. Yes, my dad was big into bison and venison. Those were his favorites. And he would actually catch his own venison. And fish, of course. He was an avid fisherman. Not professional, just he liked catfish and walleye. Walleye was his favorite. So. But yes, I am trying my darndest to, obviously I'm not in a position to be able to support all of my local farms and things like that, and I'm not, looking to go organic for everything or anything like that. But when the opportunity became available to us to be able to support a local farmer directly, I jumped at it, and I encourage you and anyone else that I come into contact with to try and do that as well if they can. It's something fun and enjoyable both for them and for us. And the taste of the meat is just, I am blown away by the difference in taste. Completely blown away. Kelly says, the outskirts of my city are rural. Cornfields and dairy farms mostly. Yes, Kelly, mine as well. I live in a city, not in the main city. I don't live in Chicago. I live in another city, a suburb of Chicago. But there's still, 35,000 people in my town. So it's a decent sized place, but it is spread out quite a bit. It used to be a farm town, and so it's pretty spread out. And then the outskirts of my town are all farms and dairies and things like that. So we're trying to do a little bit better of a job of supporting them and trying to find more local grocery stores to support. We're trying to do better. We're trying to be better neighbors, really, especially with the way prices are of everything right now. I'd much rather put that money into the pocket of one of my neighbors than into some corporate conglomerate if I can. Obviously, sometimes you just can't. Some things they just don't carry and they don't have, So just trying to do my part to be a better neighbor if I can. Kelly says, similar, Danny. I live east of Vancouver. Yep. Yep. And farming life has never really been something that's been a part of it's never been on my radar. I've lived in a city basically all my life. I've never really had. My dad lived. The closest I've ever been to a farm, quote unquote farm, was my dad had some property that he owned, a very small piece of property that he had built a cabin on, a hunting cabin on some property in just off the Mississippi River in Illinois here. He has a family friend that owned a bunch of acreage and let him buy a quarter of an acre or something or an acre or two or something to put a cabin on. And so they had a farm. They did chickens and cows, and they did some sheep as well, or they did some goats too. So I had a little bit of an introduction into a farm that way, but not really but they didn't have a whole lot of fields. They didn't have a whole lot of agriculture. So I remember one time my dad took us up there for a weekend, and because he had some work up there he had to do, and so he took us up there for the weekend. And by the time we got there, the farmer, he's like, "Oh, you just missed it. I just slaughtered all of my chickens." And we're like, "Yeah, we're really glad we missed that." We're like, "That's okay. We're okay." So the cabin my dad lived on was an off-grid cabin. Well, I guess it wasn't considered off-grid. He did have electric installed to it, so I guess, but it didn't have any running water. He built it from the ground up, and he had an outhouse. He took the front cab of a truck and rebuilt it to make an outhouse. It was really neat. You open the door of the truck and you sit down in the driver's seat, and that's the. My dad was very inventive with his stuff. So he was very inventive with things. So we'd go up there. We wouldn't go up there very often because it just, being a young girl from a city, that's just not really your idea of fun. But he'd take us up there every once in a great while to finish up a project or stay the night to do something real quick, but we wouldn't stay for long. Wow, Kelly, that's a lot of people. Kelly says, I think about 85,000 of us live here. My goodness. No, I think the last, because we just did a stimulus not too long ago here in the States, and I think there was 38,000 in my town, I think. I don't know the exact number, but I remember seeing it on the sign. When you drive into the town, it gives you the name of the town and how the population, estimated population. So Kim says, I grew up in Denver, Colorado, married a Missouri guy, and farmed for years. Wow. Both crop and stock. We stopped crops and kept chickens and our own beef once in a while. Wow. That's really cool. That's really cool, Kim. That's a lot of work. I know I'm terrible. I watch a couple of YouTubers that run a farm, and so I get to watch what they're doing from there, and it's just so much work. It just amazes me. There's always something to do. Always something. Something's either breaking, or something needs to be built, or something needs to be moved. There's always something to do. Sandra says, I loved downtown Chicago years ago. I was a small town girl. Yeah, Sandra, I live about, probably 40 miles southwest of Chicago. We actually don't really go there that often. My daughters went down there right after they got out of school to do a day down there and see the Bean and the museums and stuff like that. But we really don't go down there too often. I say down, but it's more like up, I guess. But we really just don't. We don't really venture over there too often. The crime rate there is really high, and I mean, not that I live in fear of that or anything, but the crime rates there is really high, and it's actually really challenging if you don't live in the city or just on the outskirts. It's actually kind of a challenge to get down there. You can take public transportation, which is the best way to get down there. But it's even a challenge for me to do that because I have to drive to one of the other towns to get to the public transportation. So it's a little bit of a challenge. Sandra says my daughter was born in Champaign. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, there's a college in Champaign that my daughter's friend goes to, and both of my daughters go to college in Southern Illinois. Which isn't far from Champaign, so I'm familiar there. I am familiar. Alright guys, this is the last one. Can you believe that? This is our last one that we are ironing up and trimming up those dog ears. Just been sitting here ironing and chatting with you. Talking about cows. And we are all done. So now it's a matter of sewing them up. Looks like it's about 12 o'clock. We got about half an hour, so we can probably get a row or two done, I think. Excuse me. I have something caught in my throat. My sinuses, my allergies have just been kicking my tail. I am like all kinds of drugged up on allergy meds. I think I've like quadrupled my allergy meds, and I still have like this terrible runny nose going, and oh, excuse me a second, I'm sorry. Runny coughing, my eyes keep watering. Oh, I'm just a hot mess. I'm just a hot mess. Hot mess, guys, hot mess. Well, thank you for your patience and your understanding while I sit here and drink for a minute. Marie says they're beautiful blocks. Well, thank you, Marie. That's very kind of you to say. They were super easy to make. But we got them all. They're all here. So now we're going to go ahead and put them all together. Well, not all of them today. We'll probably only get a few of them done today. Kim says, I'm sewing the last part of us to strap together and then can birth this bag. Kim, that's funny. I know exactly what you mean. Alright, so like I said, I don't really have the ability to lay the quilt out because I just don't have that kind of space. So we're just going to randomly draw from this pile to put these pieces together. So basically what you're doing is you're laying the dark fabrics together to make a certain pattern. And I don't know if you guys can see it, but that is basically the pattern that we're making. Try not to get the light in there. There. That's basically the pattern that we're making. So I'm just going to randomly grab pieces and just try to make sure that I don't have two of the same fabrics right next to each other. And that's basically what I'm going to do. I'm just going to follow the pattern line by line to make these, blocks. If I had a project wall, if I had a project wall, or I could lay them out on the floor, I might do this a little bit differently, reorganize it a little bit better. But this should be good enough. And it'll give it a scrappy look. So that's really all that matters. So I'm just going to grab the first one on the top here. And grab somewhere from the middle here. There we go. And it says we're going to take the dark one here and the dark one here. We're going to do it like this. Right now I don't think we're matching up any seams, but if we do, I'll let you know. I'm going to switch out foots. This is a 1/4 inch foot, but it is not a guided 1/4 inch foot. I prefer to use my guided one, which just has a little ledge on it so that I can butt the fabric up next to it. Especially with the YouTube channel, it makes it easier for me to to guide put the fabric up against the guide and then watch your guys' chats. So that's what I prefer to do. Kelly says, hang a flannel sheet in front of your shelf. Oh, you know, I didn't think about that. This is a brand new shelf, Kelly. This shelf literally just went up this week, but that's not a bad idea. I might have to think about that. I am looking for all kinds of fun ideas of ways to reorganize this space and make it work for me a little bit better. So that's a good one. I actually will have to remember that. All right, let's get this thing up. There we go. I know I've mentioned it a couple 100,000 times, but my machine does not like bulk. She's an old girl. She does not like bulk, so I gotta work with her slowly. That's alright though. So, row 1. Let's get it moving. Kelly says you roll the sheet up when you're not using it. That's an excellent idea, Kelly. And I was just thinking, I could put a dowel rod on the back of the thing to kind of just hold it there so that it hangs over and then roll it up when I'm done. Super good idea, Kelly. I might actually do that. That's a super good idea. Alright, so I'm going to finger press these all, and I'm going to go towards the left on this one. And you're going to just do every other on the rows, so then that way they're kind of going in different directions. We're just going to randomly grab another piece here, trying not to grab the same fabric. And then this one goes this way. Hopefully this works out. Doing it like this, we'll have to wait and see. Interesting. Looks like some of my pieces were not exactly 10 by 10. That's alright. We'll trim them up. It's fine. Guess I probably should have checked that before I started sewing, but that's okay. Kelly says, my design wall is a flannel sheet that the hubby just nailed to the wall. Well, there you go. I don't like nailing anything to the wall, and like I said, I do share this space with my daughter still, so I don't want to take it over too much. But yeah, I like the idea of hanging it over the cabinet there. That actually would work. And speaking of, if you guys aren't already, you can go follow Kelly's channel. If you do !Kelly in chat, it'll give you a link to her channel. Make sure you go follow her. She does some really cool stuff over there. This one? No, this one goes this way. There's a bunch of bulk on that side, so I'm actually going to flip this one over and go this way. There we go. Oops, missed a couple of things here. It's, Kelly says, my daughter moved downstairs, so the room is all mine. Oh, lucky you, Kelly. I don't have it downstairs. So, but she does go back to school in August. So that'll be fun. And Sandra says, my design wall is that cardboard pattern cutting board that folds. I put grommets in the corners and command strips on the wall to hold it. I love it. Oh, that's not a bad idea either, Sandra. That's a good one. Kelly says, be right back. Of course, Kelly. No problem. No problem at all. Alright. Let's see what this one... So I'm just pressing all of these towards the left, and then the next row I'll do towards the right. There we go. Excuse me. Now grab another one. I'm actually going to grab this one. Do like that. Go. Okay. Just sewing up the first row here, which is really cool. I mean, we're already in our second episode and we're already on rows, which is really neat. This one's a super easy pattern. Super. I mean, I'm actually kind of a little disappointed that I spent the money to buy the pattern. But at the same time, I am happy that I supported the designer. And that is the most important thing, is supporting the designer. So. And then last piece for this quilt, for this row is this one here. That's fine. So what I'm going to do, since we're going to be separating this into multiple, at least to another stream, I'm going to go ahead and mark this row as row 1 so that I know. And I'm going to use I think that just messed up. Hang on, let me see. Yeah, that kind of got all gunky. I'm going to mark this up as row 1, just the same way I mark up all of my cotton cuts pieces. I'm just going to take a little bit of Post-it note and a pen and a safety pin. I got a little bit of a gather here. I'm going to just pull that out real quick. Let's see. Grab this one thread right here, there, and then grab this one over here. I was trying to push it into the machine to get it to grab because it was starting to bind up there, and it folded, so not a big deal. I'll just pull these couple of pieces apart. It's only like 3 threads, so not a big deal. There we go. I'll just sew that back up real quick. Yeah. Come on. There's bulk here, and it's just not liking this. There we go. If you lost your chat there for a second, I know I did, just make sure you hit the refresh button, and it should refresh it for you. Mine kind of went all wonky on me for a second. There we go. There we go. All right. We'll probably get one more row done before we end the stream today. That would be fun, huh? Alright, so let me take a piece of, I got a piece of Post-it note here that I just cut up into 4 pieces. I had a pen, here it is. And I'm just going to put one on. Now I do have, I could use these. I do have the little alphabetties, the little numbers and letters. And I like these when I'm making like a cotton cuts block and I've got it laid out in the different numbers. But I don't like it when I'm going to be storing it. So after today's stream, I'm going to be putting this back into my little plastic bin and storing it away. And I found that the alphabetties, because you got to use the binder clips to hold them on, and sometimes the binder clips come off and then you lose it. So I prefer to use a safety pin and a Post-it note when I'm going to be storing something, because that way it stays in place and I don't lose it. So let me grab my safety pins real quick as everything falls down, I'm sure, because, you know, stacked up in layers, you know. Although one of the nice things about having this bin back here, it's been really exciting, is I have more storage. I have places to put things now in little bins, so I've been taking over the bins. I already have 2 of them full. And I moved all of my project containers. I know you guys probably can't see it, but I moved all my, oh no, maybe you can. Right here in this bottom corner is all my project containers. I moved all of those down there, so they're no longer up there anymore. They were really hard to reach up there because I am not very tall. So they were a bit of a challenge sometimes to reach. So I'm really excited that they're down lower. Alright, so I've just marked that as row 1, and I always put it in the upper left corner so that I know that's the top. And then I will just fold this one up. And this is our row 1. It does need pieces are not laying as straight as I would like them to be, but that's okay. I'll trim it up when I sew it all together. That'll be fine. Alright, so there's row 1. So now we go on to row 2. And row 2. Okay, row 2 says, I just want to make sure I don't grab the same piece that I have there for row 2, so I'm going to grab something completely different. We'll grab this one. We do dark up in that corner. And then we grab another piece. Dark down in this corner. So now the only bad part about doing it this way is that so the bad thing about doing it this way as opposed to laying it all out is I don't know from row to row if I'm going to have pieces that are next to each other. That's unfortunate. But it kind of is what it is. And we'll have to deal with it. Kim says, Danny, God only allows things to grow until they're perfect. Some of us get there before others. That is true. That is very true, Kim. Very true. And I'd rather it be done than perfect. That's mine. That's my favorite saying. I'd rather it be done than perfect. Sandra says, I like the totes and the shelf. Well, thank you, Sandra. I appreciate that. Yes, the totes have always been there. It's just kind of been hidden behind the scenes kind of thing. I keep all of my projects in 12 by 12 plastic totes, so then that way it makes it easy for me to, and I keep everything in there. I keep all of the fabric, I keep all the pieces, I keep all the threads, I keep my spool of thread and my bobbins in there. I keep everything in that project so that when I'm ready to go with that project, I just pull the whole thing out, reset the machine, and I've got it all right there, ready to go. So it's been really nice, especially with the YouTube channel. It makes things a little bit easier for me to organize and kind of get ready for the day. But yeah, I really like the project totes. Definitely a wise investment. Okay, and then this one goes dark like this. But I'm sure that in some of my other videos you guys might have seen them sitting on the bed behind me when I was working on things, or me setting things into them as I'm going through. I'm sure they were there behind me as I was working with them. But yeah, the shelf is not new to the room. It was in the room before my sewing cabinet was in here. My daughter had actually brought the cabinet with her to school last year and used it as an entertainment center and a storage unit in her dorm room. And she's decided this year that, her mom was right, and this particular shelf is a little bit heavy and a little bit bulky and a little bit difficult to take apart and put back together every year. So she's decided to buy something that's a little bit more portable, which she went and picked up for a couple, $30 I think. So she went and picked up one that's a little bit more portable, and she's decided to leave this one here at home. So we opted to put it back together and put it back in the room now that we have more floor space to put it in, and it's going to make for a really nice way for me to store some stuff, for her to store some stuff, things like that. So So it's not new to the room. It's been in the room before, just new to you guys because I don't think you guys have ever seen it in the room. So the bins that are in there are the original bins that came in it. They're a little dirty, they're a little faded, so we might replace those eventually, but for right now they work okay. But I like the space, I like the storage in it. So, come on, there we go. Welcome back, Kelly. We missed you. Thank you for coming back. We're just finishing up row 2 here, so we're just moving right along. Just moving right along. Okay. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, the next one goes down. So like I said, I'm just kind of randomly grabbing pieces here. Just, you know, just kind of being a little scrappy about it. And I'm just following each row of the pattern and identifying if it's the dark fabric goes up or down, and going from there. So this one goes down like that. And then basically when you put all the rows together, it will make this secondary pattern that looks like diamonds. It looks like everything is on point, but it's not because it's just diamonds. So. Dawn, no problem. My quilt project says, sorry I'm late. No, not at all. No worries about it. Please don't be sorry. I'm glad that you were able to make it. Not a problem at all. Good morning. Welcome. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to Dawn's channel. You can do !Dawn in chat, and it will bring up a link to her channel. Make sure you go follow her, give her a like and subscribe. Danny, congratulations on 100 subs. Thank you so much, Dawn. Thank you so much for that. Yeah, it's really because of Sean. He gave me a shout out in his video that he posted this morning, and that kind of threw us over that hump. We were at 93 followers for a couple of weeks, and he was able to push us over. So last I checked, we were at 101, but we might be a little bit higher than that now. I'm not sure. I'll have to check again. But yeah, so if he's watching this later, thank you to him. Thank you. Thank you to all of his subscribers that have come over and subscribed to my channel. Thank you for that. Thank you to all of my subscribers that have been following me and kept on with this journey. It's been amazing. You guys have been liking and sharing all these videos, and it's been just absolutely amazing. And I am just so grateful for each and every one of you. It has been such a fun journey so far, and I hope it continues to stay fun. And as long as it does, and as long as you guys keep watching, then I will keep posting videos. So that's the goal anyway. So we'll see how it goes. Last one for this row goes up like this. Marie says 105. Wow, 105. That's amazing. You know, when I started this channel, I was ecstatic because I had like 10 subscribers. I was just ecstatic. I'm like, there aren't even 10 people in my family. That means there's somebody out there that's actually watching this that's not part of my family. But now I consider all of you part of my family. So thank you so much to each and every one of you. It's really great. Yep, we'll do a giveaway. We'll do a 100 sub giveaway probably later in the week. I have a bunch of pieces of things that I want to put together to give away. So make sure you keep an eye on the channel for that. It'll be just like the 50 sub giveaway, where I post a video on there, then you make a comment, and then you'll be entered to win, and we'll do a random drawing for that winner. So that'll be fun. So, yes, it is amazing. that this many people, that there are 100 people, 105 people out there that actually want to watch me. It's amazing. It really is. Alright guys, row 2 is officially done. Wow, this thing is going up really quick. This thing is going together really, really fast. So, really, really fast. So I'm going to take another piece of Post-it note here. I fold it in 4s. That way it just gives me, I mean, I could probably do smaller than that, but I don't need it that small. So I just take a piece of Post-it note, fold it in 4s. Tear it up. And then just take my pen and say row 2. Yes, Dawn, the room is a tad different. Yeah, you obviously you came in late, so you missed it. I was not on the channel last week because we were doing a little bit of a reorganization in the room. We have lofted my daughter's bed. Her bed used to be here. It was a twin bed. And we lofted it, and we moved it on this back wall here. So it's up higher. And then we put all of my office, because this is also my home office as well. This poor girl, she used to share this room with me. So we put all my office stuff underneath her bed, so that opened up all of this nice floor space to be able to work with, both for her and for I. And then we also installed this cabinet here. The cabinet is not necessarily new to the room, but it is new to you guys because it has not been in the room for a little over a year now. It was an original piece of furniture to her bedroom before she went off to college, and then she brought it with her to college, but she has since brought it back home and decided she's not going to bring it with her next year. So we set it back up. It gave us some nice storage. It gave us some nice pretty things to look at. I'll probably start decorating these a little bit more, put some notions and stuff out there for you guys to look at. Maybe a nice pretty sign or something, who knows. We'll just have to wait and see. Shady Susan, yes, thank you. Thank you for reminding everybody to make sure you give the video a thumbs up if you haven't already. Well, we have finished. We have managed to sew up the last 2 blocks, slice everything up, press it all, and then just sewed up 2 rows, all in 2 hours. That is how quickly this thing is going together. I cannot believe how fast this thing is. It's super quick and easy. I mean, at this rate, I think we might be done by the next stream. Who knows? Alright guys, so I'm going to take off. I've got a bunch of stuff here at home that I need to take care of before the work week starts again tomorrow. Thank you so much to each and every single one of you for joining me today and for liking and for subscribing, and it's been so much fun. Last week's video, there was a bit of a kerfuffle with last week's video. It went up late, so it went up yesterday. Thank you again for everyone for letting me know there were issues with it. I was able to get that fixed. I'm not even really sure what the issues were, but I basically just deleted it and reinstalled it, and that seemed to work. So that was clue 5 of our cotton cuts. I just recorded clue 6 yesterday, so I'll have that one up on the channel. Probably not this week. I'll probably have that one up next week, because this week I'll have another unboxing video for you, which is another fun project we're going to start on. So lots and lots of fun projects coming. So make sure you like and subscribe. Make sure you click that notification bell so you know what project we're going to be working on next. I know I'll be live next week, but I'm not sure what I'm going to be doing. Thank you, Carla, for that subscription. Thank you very much for that. Welcome to the channel. And I'm not sure what we're going to be doing next week. I know we're going to be doing something. We've got our mix and match quilt that we've got. We've got Tower Bridge. I've got, probably 8 or 9 other projects that we could start on. I'm really, really tempted to do a little bit of a Christmas in July theme next week and do some paper piecing, because I'd really, really like to try that. It's something I've never done before, and I'm really excited to try it out and see how it works. So we might be doing that next week. That is a distinct possibility for next week. So we'll have to wait and see. But anyways, guys, thank you again so much for joining me. I always have so much fun talking with you guys about just about anything. Today we were talking about cows. Who knows? You just never know what we're going to talk about here today. All right, guys, I will see you again. You have an amazing rest of your weekend and rest of your week, and I will see you all next week. Thank you again so much. I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Where's my mouse? I do this every time. One of these days I will learn. Okay, guys, take care.
Didn't wanna go, 'cause out here I'm all alone. Didn't wanna go. I wanna turn back the time and let you know to come home. Kissed you, saw you come home.